face and my hands are clean, so you always want your hands clean if you're going to be touching your face. So moisturized and everything. So the next thing to do is prime my face and my eyelids. First thing I'm going to do, obviously, eyelids, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. I mentioned this in my previous video, and I will have that link down below in my previous video. But I will say you don't have to go out and buy an expensive primer, because this one is, I think, $20, or it's like $18, but it's close to 20. I mean, come on. But you don't have to use this. The only reason I am using this is because I don't have any more of this eyeshadow primer, so I ran out. This is by Jessie's Girl. I find this brand at Rite Aid, which is drugstore, and it rings up to like $6 total. I just take a little bit off on my fingers, excuse me, I pat it out, and then I put it on my eye. And now to prime the face, I'm going to be using my two current favorite primers at the moment. I'm going to be taking the Makeup Forever Mattifying Primer, and then I'm going to be taking, and I'm going to put this on the T-zone, so I'm going to put this on my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and a little bit on the chin. I'm going to take my NYX Angel Veil Primer, and I'm going to put this elsewhere, which is more on this kind of pore area, so right under the eye, near the cheek area. So I'm going to put this on. Zoom you guys into my eyes, because that is what we're going to be starting with. Because of the eyeshadow look, I am more than sure I'm going to have some fallout. So yeah, we're going to do our eyelids first. For up close and personal, I'm going to prime my lids, and I'm going to use like a concealer now that I have primer on and it has set. I can go in with concealer, and I just want to cancel out any of the redness and whatnot. So I'm going to take my Maybelline New York concealer. This is in the shade Medium 25. And now really quickly, I like to set that just because I don't want that to move or budge. And for that, I'm going to be taking my Rimmel Stay Matte Long Lasting Powder. And this is in the shade Transparent. I didn't say translucent, but then we have a perfect base for our eyeshadows. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a transition color, transition shade, you know the deal. I'm going to be taking my Lorac Pro 2 palette, and I'm going to be taking the shade Light Brown, and I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush like this one, and I'm gonna focus this onto the crease here from the outside of the crease, and then just start working it in. So I'm going to go in with my Morphe Brushes palette, and I'm going to be taking the palette 35W, which is 35 Warm. It's shade right here. And I'm only going to focus this on the outer part, nowhere up to the crease, stopping at the crease. And I'm also going to take this onto the inner corner of the eye. And I'm going to leave the middle part blank. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same 35W palette, and I'm going to be taking this orange shade right here. I'm going to try and focus this onto the crease, just to blend those two. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. For our lid shade, the one to go, like, taking an eyeshadow by NARS, you don't have to use this exact same eyeshadow. This is this NARS Stephen Klein collection, and this is the eyeshadow he came out with, NARS. This is actually, this is in the shade Stud, and tell me this is not the most beautiful eyeshadow you've ever seen. Like, pack this onto the center of the lid, on right in the middle, just right there. You can tell I kept it in the center, but I also tried to put a little bit of the powder on the sides just so it blends out with the lid shade, and it doesn't look so harsh. So now I'm really quickly going to go back in and touch up a little bit with that kind of ivory purple color right there. Ivory? What the hell? Wine cranberry purpley color. It's got a little bit of cranberry properties to it. Now we are done with the eyes. For now, we will probably touch up towards the end because you know how I like to roll. For foundation today, I'm going to be taking my Makeup Forever Ultra HD Foundation. You can use whatever foundation you want. You don't have to use the exact same one I am using. I'm actually trying this out, like I mentioned it in my previous video. Mixing it in with a little bit of my L'Oreal Pro Infallible foundation. I blend this out with a damp beauty blender. While I was putting on my foundation, I realized that my camera stopped filming. that's okay. Anyways, you guys just saw me, and I mean, all I did was dot it on my face and blend it out with my beauty blender, and so I just went ahead and filled in my eyebrows. Now we're going to move on to concealer. So for today, I'm going to be using my Maybelline New York Fit Me concealer. Start as if I were doing a triangle here in the inner corner, and I just start flaring it out. That's basically all I do. I make sure I get right under the eye and then flare it out. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. To blend out this product, I'm going to be using my Wild foundation brush, this kind of flat foundation situation. I'm just going to pat it out. You guys kind of know how I like to do this. Just basically pat it out. You never want to swipe, because you're never really pressing the product into your skin. All you're doing is just moving it all around, and it's never really going to set well. So I like to pat it to set my concealer immediately after. So I'm going to let the other concealer just sit there for quite a second, because I really need to set this concealer. I'm taking, if I can grab it, my Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. You guys know this. I love this. So I just come in here and I just literally pat the powder on. Like a whole lot more put together. So I'm going to blend out the other side. I'm going to be taking the same kind of wine purpley shade, and I'm lining basically my lower lash line with this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pencil brush like this one. I already put the eyeshadow on mine, but the eyeshadow I put is that same orange color that we took on on this pencil brush, just to blend out the lower lash line. Now I'm just going to put on some mascara on the tops of my eyelashes. I let that sit for a little bit. We're going to move on to our faking a little bit of the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder. I have not used this in a minute. And I'm going to put this in the hollows of my cheeks. I'm going to be taking the MAC bronzer in the shade Delphic. Taking a Wet n Wild blush again today. I'm obsessed with these. These are so pigmented and they're so stinking cheap. I think they're like $1.99. Pretty soon I'm going to be doing a video of like my top drugstore products. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in watching. Heather Silk. And that's what it looks like. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of highlighter on. And for today's look, taking my MAC highlighter in the shade Soft and Gentle. It just looks like this. Now, because I was a little too harsh and messy with my bronzer today, I'm going to be baking, and I'm going to be taking this little sponge wedge situation and my Airspun Loose Face Powder. You can find this at Walmart. I have my falsies on now, so I'm just going to really quickly put on some mascara on my lower lashes. With that on, all we have left is to brush off this baking powder. Oh yeah, I put baking powder on my face. I'm just going to blend out my highlighter, my bronzer, and my blush all together with this powder as well. All that's left are our lips, and so I'm going to be lining them. I'm going to be taking my Milani Color Statement Lip Liner, and this one is in the shade Spice. The reason I like to line my lips is because sometimes certain lipsticks can bleed and then you're looking like the Joker without knowing it. So that is why I like to line my lips. So for lipstick today, I'm going to be taking something a little bit more different than usual. I'm going to be taking the Milani lipstick, and this one is in the shade Sangria, number 29. And this is your completed look. So this is the completed look for the dramatic makeup for Thanksgiving. If you know you want to be a little more dramatic, or you definitely want to look very, very glamorous, then this is the look I recommend for you. I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. I hope you have a great day with your family, and you know you're filled with a lot of love, laughter, and turkey, of course. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!